Welcome back to another episode of From My Mat to Yours podcast, hosted by Kenya Marsh, your yoga bestie and your mindset yoga coach. Um, Previously, we talked about preparing ourselves for the spring, updating and changing our mindset, and just overall getting a good spring cleaning. With all the mayhem that's going on, I want to spend today's topic on the coronavirus and how we can cope with it together. So, are you ready to get started? Great. Let's go. So, I know these episodes usually kick off first thing in the morning, but there's so much that has been going on this week. I really had to take some time to reset myself in order to shift and prioritize. This year, I was blessed with the opportunity to work for our community college to teach yoga for the spring semester. And with that, I was able to get in contact with great students in all ages and help them learn how to use yoga as a vessel. In light of that, with the rapid change going on with the coronavirus worldwide, especially now here in the States, a lot has changed, especially in this 1 week. Going just to get groceries is now a job. I just got notice that my kids will be out of school for the next 2 weeks. So a lot of things is being closed, events is being canceled. Our lives is going through a bit of a drastic change. So that led me to get on a mic and talk about it, because if you're going through this as well, I want you to know you're not alone. We're all going through and we're all feeling effects one way or the other. And each day we're learning of a newer development, a new change, a new wrench that is just thrown into our routine. And if you're a person who plans a lot, this is the time where you have to shift and plan. I know previously in season 2, I talked about self-care and having an emergency self-care kit. This is one of the times to break into that self-care kit, because at moments like this, when there's so much mayhem around us, it is our duty to make sure that we keep our spirits lifted so our immune system can be as effective as possible. If we allow fear to overpower us, that and stress will lower our immune system, and that would not help us. It would not help our loved ones, and we don't need that. So instead, those who are listening, I want you to be that beacon of light for your family, because our family is going to need us more and more, and we're going to need ourselves more and more. So these is going to be times where you're going to need to dig deep, take a moment, breathe, take a moment and just meditate for take 5 to 10 minutes. Clear your head so you can help calm down the family and friends around you. If you have kids who's been in school, who's been hearing all these events unfold, they have tons of questions, and it can kind of stress you out just trying to address it, because I know I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, and sometimes you say something to them and they understand it, but I have a son who's an overthinker, so he goes beyond. So I have to take time and energy to calm him down, to break it down, that we're going to take it one day at a time and to not worry. This is something that we will overcome as a society, through humanity. We'll get through this. We've gone through so many other issues. I know for me, growing up in New York City, and especially from, I could say, the age of 18 till now, there were so many things that you've heard that would just put people in a panic. And this times is no different than the previous times. You just have to be rooted and stay vigilant in keeping yourself in a in a good space. So I'm going to go over some recommendations, what I have for you that can probably help keep you going. In the event you try to plan and do your regular supermarket run and you know some things you need is no longer accessible, and the prices are scorched high online, and you probably don't have the funds to get it. If you can't, there, just do online searches to see if you can reach out. I know for some reason people are all caught up with this toilet tissue thing. I still can't wrap my head around that. Even yesterday, I was at the supermarket getting my normal groceries. Luckily, I shift my plan to do it a day ahead. I was able to get 95% of the things on my list, and I shop moderately because I understand there's people behind me who also need things and who are going to prepare. So I don't want to overindulge. So I take a little bit here and there, mostly perishables, and non-perishables, the canned goods, because those are the things that I know can last the longest. I know how to make bread from scratch. I know how to do a lot of things because I've taught myself to be self-efficient in the event, so I won't depend on other things because I'm used to a lot of things that I like no longer becoming available or just being discontinued. So that is stuff that I take, you know, and I would recommend the same. If you're used to liking takeout and you love pizza, I would eliminate going to a lot of fast food restaurants at this stage. And I think the best thing to do is invest in a recipe book. There's simple recipes. It takes me 20 minutes to make pizza dough and a nice gourmet pizza from scratch for my family and with little ingredients. All you need is a pack of yeast, some flour, and I do it with no eggs. It is possible for you to have ways that you can cope through this that will, one, eliminate some of your exposure to the outside if you are in need of staying home. You want to think about those things. It's time to start thinking out the box. There's recipes to teach you how to make your homemade hand sanitizers. Those are harder and harder to come by. Same goes for plant-based recipes. Please look those up for learning how to make cleaning products if you happen to run out. That way you can keep wiping down all the equipment. You have your kids do the same. As far as if you are going to be home with your kids for the next 2 weeks or more, come up with some fun activities for you guys to do so y'all won't be in a slump. I know we already have our TV schedule set, we have our game schedule time set, we have reading time scheduled set. So anything to keep our kids engaged and keep ourselves engaged. And that way we won't feel depleted and we won't feel that, oh gosh, it's another day and it's Groundhog Day. Here we go, repeat. I always like to have my kids think of it like they're on a vacation, so they're going to get to have fun. The weather we've been blessed with today has been really warm. So they was able to get outdoors, run, and get some energy out that way. In case where they have to be indoors, I have their game times, but you still want to set probably a more flexible screen time for your kids if you're big with screen time, such as I am. But that's something you also wanted to take into consideration. The next thing is not to give in to fear. You need to be that beacon. So find things that can keep you inspired. Order some new books, have it shipped. Wash your hands as soon as you get the package. Wipe down the book before you get into it. But get some new books or audiobooks, which you don't have to touch. That way you could get your knowledge going while you're home, for those who are able to work from home and have breaks in between, because it's going to be hard. I know for myself, I have to work from home and I've already have to transfer my face-to-face classes to online classes. Luckily, me, I have the experience with that, and the college has offered to do training for those who do not. This is where a lot of pivoting and adapting is really going to come into play. And you don't want to hold these feelings in. This is also a good time to talk it out be on the phone with friends, check in with family members since you can't see them if you're used to seeing them. If you want to go out and still see them, please do just be vigilant. Wash your hands as often as you can, as well as trying to get enough sleep as much as you can. And this is the time to also load up on some fruits and vegetables to help boost your metabolism. I think, and just like other medical sites recommend, try to get in at least 30 minutes of exercise in the form of a yoga, a HIIT workout, anything that can get you going, that can help give your body that boost. Please do that. Get your energy going. Keep yourself motivated. Keep yourself lifted. And just keep feeding yourself so you have that ball of energy that you could then be that beacon of light for those who are really going to look at it and in a hard way. We're going to get impact in different ways, so it's up to us to try to find some kind of positive thoughts out of all of this. I will probably these next 10 weeks providing updates because I know my kids still overall, with all the planning that I'm doing, is going to drive me crazy in one way or another. But I definitely feel that I will be jumping on. And in the meantime, if you want me to touch on something else to keep us going, please feel free. Send me an email or leave a review as you listen to this, because I definitely want you to know we're all going through this together. I don't mind sharing my experience with this and what I'm coming across, and how I'm adjusting and adapting, and how my family's adjusting and adapting, because this is something unique. This is something we never have experience with, I can say, out of all the things we've went through. But going through a lot of different situations that were also emergencies, I know this is something that will pass, and you have to make the most out of it. And I'm hoping that this podcast episode at least puts you in a perspective to help with that. Last couple of tips for those yogis and yoga teachers: if at all possible, please wipe down. If you're having people come into your studio still, wipe down your stuff and spread out the amount of time in between your next session. Start transitioning your face-to-face interaction to online. There's great services such as Podia and Teachable, both services that I use. I recommend that because this way you could be safe and mitigate any of the spread for you and your family, and taking care of your students as well, because we don't want to bring harm to each other. We want to eliminate this so the faster we can get back to our so-called normal life, but get into a routine again. So if you could readjust and make some adjustments to switching to doing as much digital work as possible to cut back on you being outside in the environment, feel free to do that. There's a couple of groups that you can join on Facebook. I'm actually probably going to open up mines more so we can talk and see each other, so that way you can still get some face-to-face virtual interaction with people for the time being, until we can get through, and that way we can continue sharing some tips and some tricks on what we learned, how to cope through this stressful time and not allow ourselves to be stressed out about it. So I'm going to end this off because now I have to go prepare dinner. This was really like on a whim. Let me get this out there because I really want to connect with you guys, and as promised, I'm still, no matter what, gonna post my Friday episodes, but I might throw in some more bonus ones over the next couple of days. So sorry about that. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. You can email me at info@simplyfitandcurvyyoga.com. I would love your support in continuing to do these episodes and share more content with you guys. So if you could leave a review to let me know how I'm doing, what you like, and what you like to hear more of, please do leave a review. And you can follow me on Instagram if you want to connect some more. Or you can ask questions there. Stay positive. Get some plenty of rest. Stay hydrated. And continue to take it one day at a time. I'll speak to you again soon. And have a great weekend.